There we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to see you here. I'm excited about today's meeting because it's all about, you know, sometimes you just need some reminders of getting started. And not even just getting started in your real estate business, but sometimes you just have to look at where your business is and readjust and tweak and make some changes to hit the ground running hard for the last quarter. And I say that because, you know, we're just a month away from the fourth quarter of the year. So I really want everything, all our thought process to be just focused on what can we do to just knock it out of the park the last few months. We've got about 3 months to get something into escrow because unless it's a cash deal, it's really hard to open and close something in the month of December. Not saying it can't be done because we've all done it. So that's all good. But I'm excited. Thank you for being here. I'm going to share my screen now. Oops, there. Control. I'll share my screen. And here, slideshow, and we're going to start from the beginning. So I just want to also take a second, say thank you to our affiliates, Legendary Escrow, Landwood, our Home Warranties, American Home Shield, and Old Republic. I appreciate you writing them in the contract, promoting them. Every time we use our affiliates, it makes our company strong. Plus, you know, you've got that peace of mind that you have, we have cell phone numbers. We know how to get a hold of people when there's issues or problems in a transaction, and it's easier to solve them when it's our folks. So thank you again. I do appreciate it. Do want to give out a shout out. We have a few new agents, not new agents, but new to our office. So welcome, Maria Villagrana. I'm glad you're here. She just transferred over here from another brokerage. Mike Craig, welcome. You've been in the business a while, moved out here from LA, doing real estate in the Los Angeles area, and he is with us now at Berkshire Hathaway, again here in the desert. So welcome, Mike. And Shelly Scott Silverman. So we want to welcome you as well. Thank you for being here. Amanda, do you want to give your update? And can you stand over there because it's hard for them to hear?
Oh, okay.
And on the recordings, I couldn't hear you last week, so I am trying. And we've got some great equipment coming. It's going to hopefully solve all our sound issues.
Good morning, everybody. Just a quick reminder, we still have slots available for Chris, who will be here on the 31st from 1 to 4:30.
30th or the 31st?
The 31st, August the 31st.
Okay, because I got an email yesterday that said 30th. You better confirm.
Yes.
You better confirm. But if you haven't had a one-on-one with Chris Weeder, or even if you have and you want another one, do it. He's the guy who's going to help get your system set up, help you update your website. He'll help you through a lot of the issues there. So thank you. And anything else you want to tell? Oh, we do have one more reminder about the parking lot this week. They're going to be doing the sealing of the parking lot. I emailed out, it's going to be the 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah, the email, they should have it.
Yeah, you should have an
With the map.
email from me that has the parking lot map. And, I just wanted you to be aware of it because if you pull into the parking lot or you try to and it's closed, that map shows you where you can park or you can park across the street and walk over. I just want you to be aware of that in case you're meeting clients or, you just are wearing really good shoes. Careful, you're dropping through asphalt. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. Anything else?
And then also for our newer agents, if you guys have any questions, I'm also available and we can set up a one-on-one regarding the EAC or anything to get them up and running.
Oh,
I'm available as well.
thank you. Yes, that is absolutely critical. If you are just moving to the company or you haven't quite finished setting up your systems yet, definitely reach out. Imelda is awesome when it comes to helping you get your systems up and running. So, and remember, those systems are all designed to generate leads. So we got to get those in place. I know we have a few agents that have businesses or jobs outside of real estate. It's even more critical that you get those systems up and running so they're on autopilot, so to speak, And you can still be getting leads while you're doing other jobs as well. So thank you, Imelda. I do appreciate everything you do for the agents and for me. Okay, moving forward. Well, congratulations, our August listing agents so far. Michael Charles, Wasserman team, Doris and Lupe, Abraham, Maria Villagrana, George Lopez team, Eileen Stuber, Angie, and Linda. So thank you so much. We're at 9, our goal is 30. So let's really push those listings hard and get as many as we possibly can. Those are your gold mine, and you're going to be so grateful you did. In escrow, congratulations to our agents who have put one in escrow so far this month. And again, we have the George Lopez team, Patty Illingworth, Abraham, Wasserman team, Roxanne, George Lopez team, Angie, Michael, whoop, whoop. We have Debbie Bellman, Maria Molina, Mark's Real Estate Group, and Jean Reneker. So congratulations to all of you. I'm really proud of you. And let's not bad for just a little over a week. So let's triple that, and I think we'll be doing great. So thank you so much. Okay, so one more. Here we go. Okay, so getting into the meat of this, before I go further, there's a few-minute video here by Mark Stark that I want you to see, and it's called Having a Business Plan versus Executing It. And so many times, I mean, and we're all guilty, you don't have, and don't show hands, but really, how many of you have an active business plan that you work with on a daily basis? That's business 101. If you don't have a business plan, you should have some plan. And what we don't want is a business plan that you spend all this time creating, and then you email it to me, throw it in a drawer and go, "Whew, I'm so glad that's done," and not look at it for the next year. The business plans I'm referring to are business plans that, hi, Greer, come on and sit, that deal with your DRC, your daily revenue commitment. What are you doing on a daily basis? So we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but I want to bring up Mr. Stark because he will explain it to you.
Hey, I'm Russ Ruffino.
That's
I'm
not
here,
hard.
coach, consultant, expert, author, or speaker. I have just one question for you. Do you know where your next client is coming from?
Yes, I do. Okay.
Hello, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services sales executives for our video message of the week. Our first video for 2017. And today we're going to talk about the difference between having a business plan and executing on that plan. All right, we're going to jump right into today's message. First of all, I want to give you today some really key tips in making sure you just didn't spend time building a plan, but you built a plan that you were hoping was going to help you have your best 2017 ever. All right, first item. Are you clear? So you've built this plan now. Now, are you clear what this plan has you do on a day-to-day basis? I didn't say you look at it, here's what this plan's going to have you do for the year, for the month, even for the week. If you can't look at your plan and know specifically what that plan expects you to do each and every day, that's a problem. Okay, so you need to fix that if that's still an issue. Basically, you're looking at your daily process. This way, all you have to focus on is it's Tuesday, the 10th. Well, guess what? All I need to do is focus on Tuesday and what I need to accomplish today. Second tip in making sure you execute effectively on a plan, and that is have a production partner. What do I mean? Well, you have other people in the office that have created their plan for 2017. You know what? Get together with someone that you're comfortable with this idea that you each are going to hold each other accountable. Not just be buddy-buddy, but hold each other accountable to the plan, to each of your plans. So step one is sitting down so there's an understanding of each of your plans. And what do you have to understand? Only one thing, what each of you commit to within your plan that you have to do each day. See, once each of you understand that, How easy is that for your partner to hold you accountable for each day of the week? So key. And I will tell you, having a production partner is it's really effective. It helps you stay motivated sometimes when you're not so motivated. When you know your partner's going to be in there and you have a meeting to meet them in the morning, you're more apt to be there on time when you're supposed to be with the right mindset to start producing. Next, choose production activities that you like. All right, listen, this is a mistake as we build our plans. Sometimes we build a plan around this concept of what we think we should do or what other people tell us to do, instead of taking all the productive activities you can do and choose the ones you like. That doesn't mean you wake up and you sit there and go, I love to do this, which I hope you do. That's a good thing. But if you aren't at that level, okay. But at least choose the activities that you get passionate about, that you get excited about, and that, you know what, you can say, you know what, I enjoy doing that. I really do. I may not enjoy this, I may not enjoy that, but I do enjoy this aspect. So choose the ones that you like the most. It makes good common sense, because no plan can be effective if you actually don't do the activities that is outlined in that plan. And last, but certainly not least, please, so importantly, please don't justify the facts. Meaning this, sometimes whatever the facts are, let's say you're running into a block wall on some of these things, you're having a skill set issue. Every time you look outside of yourself to blame it on something else going wrong, it's a mistake. I don't care what interest does. I don't care what the market does. For you as an individual, there's nothing that can go on in the marketplace that you can't achieve your personal goals. That's right. Your personal goals are not big enough to stop, okay, you from succeeding regardless of what happens in the market. Look inside. These are the facts, and I'm going to tweak where necessary. See, that's what matters. Stay focused on what you need to accomplish. Don't make excuses around it. Don't justify the facts. Just tweak where you need to tweak and keep moving forward. Listen, having a business plan every year is key, but understanding how to effectively execute on that plan is the most important thing. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
No one says it like Mark.
He's so like on it, because it's like, don't just get a buddy, which is so easy to do, and you think you're moving forward, you know?
Exactly. Well, and truth is, it's always a good idea, whether it be me or whether you pick somebody that you like or work with. At the end of the day, if you make yourself a promise that I'm going to contact, or I'm going to have, Mark likes to say, relevant conversations. It's not calling and leaving messages. It's not calling and asking somebody to lunch, but having a relevant conversation with somebody. You should have minimum of 2 good conversations a day. But depending on where your goals are, you may need to make more phone calls, right? Or you may need to more people. So at the end of the day, if you say my goal is to talk to 5 people every single day, at the end of the day, you text your accountability buddy, again, whether it be me or anybody else that you choose, and just type the number 5. If you did it. If you didn't do it, type the number 1. You know, I made 1 call, or 0, or whatever. You gotta be honest, but do it. And in the first few times, I gotta tell you, if you're not doing it, because you've never had that accountability buddy, and it's hard to get into certain habits, right? Just like it's hard to break habits, bad habits, it's sometimes hard to create new habits. So you have to really focus. And the first few days that you might have 0, you're going to feel discouraged and just want to say, no, I'm not going to do it. But what you have to tell your brain is, why are you here in the first place? Right? What is so important to you that you chose real estate over McDonald's? Really? It's money, right? I mean, it's just all about money. So if that is important, if that's going to help change your life for the better, then push yourself. Put those goals in front of you. I've got my dream board hanging in my closet, and I look at it every morning, every night. I'm in there checking it out, adding stuff to it, and it's mine. It's what gets me up, and it gets me saying, God, I love this job. In the morning. Believe it or not, I do say that. I do say that, despite some days, but you know, it's a great business. It's a great business, and it's a business that allows us to do things that we could not maybe normally do working somewhere else. So, you know, with that said, that accountability partner is everything to get you on track, because as you start doing it, I'm telling you, it's like a rhythm, and you get into this groove and you just start doing it. So, I'm going to email this out to everybody after with the meeting link. But the 4-step business plan, I like it because it's super easy. Mark Stark created it. It's 4 steps. Step 1 is your daily revenue foundation, your DRC, right? That is what you're committed to do, your daily revenue committed to do X every single day, whatever that daily revenue is. Step 2 is your administrative and operational health. What does that mean? Is it time to hire a TC? Is it time to hire a marketing coordinator? And we're going to talk about that for a minute. Step 3 is asset building and enhancement, right? And then step 4, and this is something that most people don't even think about, exit strategy and personal wealth and growth. You know, Mark's got the great attitude of, you know, you should build your business, build it as large as you want to, and then when you're ready to retire, sell it and go lay on the beach, right? I mean, unless you want to work, you don't, but be in a position where you can make that choice, not where you feel like you have to work. So it's a cool plan, and let's go to the beach now. Delayed gratification, Mark. All right, so 4-step business plan, and you can see it laid out like a pyramid here. We've got step 1, it's very bottom. And keep in mind, you're not going to move to the next step until that first step is done. So step 1 is creating that daily revenue foundation. Step 2, again, is the administration, then asset building and your exit strategy. So let's talk about step 1, your daily revenue foundation. And you know, the goal is to create daily revenue opportunities for yourself while forming a productive habit that will provide consistent and duplicatable income. So think about the income, and it's funny because I asked this to a lot of agents and they look at me with this blank face, but it's just a question every person should know the answer to. Well, how much money do you need to make in a year? What are your bills? What is your income? What are your expenses? This is just basic. So, and sometimes I know there's people that they get their bill and they just pay it, but they don't have any idea what their monthly nut really is. So take some time, if you haven't already done that, make a list of your expenses, make a list of your income. You'll see immediately how much you need to make to survive, right? Every single day. And then of course, you want to also add in there your fun stuff. What do you like to do? Do you like to go out to dinner? Do you want to go to the beach? While you're at the beach, do you want to rent a boat? You know, what do you want to do? How do you want to travel? Some agents actually, their goal every year is to take a dramatic vacation. So they work to get into escrow, to close an escrow and have that escrow pay for this also vacation once a year. There is that available. You can do that. And then of course, once you figure out how much you need to make or want to make, based on the current average sale price, determine how many units you must close to achieve your goal, right? So if the average price point is, let's say, for example, $500,000, and you need to make $50,000, for ease of math, I'm going to use 3%, but the average commission is 2.75. You can see my problem. So 3%, right, of 500,000 is 15,000. That's your gross. How many do you need to close to earn 50,000? 3 transactions. 4 transactions. Yeah. So 4 transactions. 1 a quarter. How hard is that, guys, to make 50 grand? If you're focused. And right now, price points are so up. I mean, my gosh, if you start selling in Indian Wells, the average price point right now is $1 million. How many do you need? One sale is 30 grand GCI. So, you know, you just have to think about what your average sale price is versus that. And then choose, like Mark said, choose the activity and number of conversations you will have each day to achieve your unit closed goal. So I watched a video 5 years ago with Brian Tracy, and many of you have been around long enough to know who Brian Tracy is. But Brian Tracy did this program on business planning once, and he had this big white board. And on that board, he drew 100 squares. And each square represented a contact, okay? So every time he made contact or had a relevant conversation, he would put, you know, a check mark in it. And if he skipped a day, it would just be an X. But he knew every phone call that he made, every contact that he made was that much closer to that 100, because he knew by the time he hit 100 contacts, he would at least have a couple opportunities to do business, right? So your numbers are going to get better and better. And as you start out, it may take you 100 calls to get one, yes, I want to talk to you about listing my house. As you get your skills level, you know, you just get better and better at what you're doing. It might come down to 50 phone calls, you'll have a listing appointment. 25 phone calls, you'll have a listing appointment. You start honing, the more you do, and sometimes I hear agents, excuse me, you're afraid to get started because you're not 100% sure what to say. You're going to be okay. There are scripts everywhere, and I'm not saying read that script verbatim, but review it and then make it your personality, right? You don't have to be cheesy, you don't have to be anything but you, but figure out what you want to say, and that's going to change. Every person you talk to, you're going to learn a little bit more and think, oh, I should have added this. And the next time you're going to add it, and you're going to get a little bit better, and you know, next time you're going to add it. So that's the thing, is whatever you need to do, keep track, and that keeps you focused on what that goal is. So what can you do? You can do a few things. You can call or visit your sphere to reconnect. Your sphere of influence is number one. So if I were in your chair or shoes right now, I would make a list of every person I know, family, friend, past co-workers, people I do business with. I would make sure those people are in my CRM, right? I would make sure they're in my CRM. And when they're getting in the CRM, I'm going to assign some drip systems to them. But more importantly, I'm going to pick up that phone. These are people you know and you like, right? Your sphere, your family, your friends, people you've worked with, people that you do business with. And I would pick up the phone and try to have a relevant conversation with them. You'd be surprised what that does to spark your business. It will immediately give you a listing or a potential buyer or something in the business or a referral. So that's a great place to start. High impact open houses, of course, as you get your listings, you'll have a listing to do an open house. Right now, open houses are golden because, you know, the listings just aren't lasting very long. But if you can, high impact open house. Warm call around your companies and your successes. So listing, active listings, listings sold, sales, closings, buyer needs. Some of the most seasoned agents and done this for years. As soon as a listing goes up in a subdivision, it doesn't have to be your listing. It can just be a listing, right? Step number one, what do? We need to go preview that, right? Because that's our inventory. You know, if you have a store, you need to know what inventory you have on the shelf, right? Well, the belly is our store. We need to know what inventory we have on our shelves. So when a listing hits the market, and I'm gonna digress for just a second. Please don't say, well, it's not my farm, so I don't care. Well, what happens if you're at the gas station or you're at the store and someone says, gee, I would like to buy a house and I really like this area over here, and it's not in your farm? Are you going to say, too bad, I don't work there, and leave? No, you're going to say, sure, I can certainly help you. And I bet at that point, you're going to really wish you had previewed these listings as they're coming on. And so make sure you understand the inventory. Get on the MLS every day, step one, and look at new listings. This is just an easy step. See what's going on. If it is a home that you think, well, that's cool, I'd like to get inside of it, for potential buyers, maybe not somebody you have now, but I'm here to tell you, when you've been inside the houses and a buyer comes up to you and says, I'm looking for a, 3-bedroom, 3-bath home, and gives you the details, and you were just inside a property that matched that, your whole emotion gets excited, right? You just are like, oh my gosh, I just saw the perfect house for you. They're gonna see that excitement. They're gonna know that you've been in there. They're gonna know that you know your job, and you're more likely to get that person as your client versus, okay, well, let me look on the MLS and see what's available. You know what? You just lost them, because every consumer in today's world knows how to get on the MLS or Zillow or website and see what's out there. So then now you become irrelevant. You're not needed. Yes.
On top of that, I've been in houses that look absolutely beautiful on the MLS because they hired a really good photographer and they're not very nice in person, and vice versa. I've seen beautiful $1 million houses that have horrible pictures taken, and on the MLS, they look horrible.
Well, and one thing you cannot do from pictures is smell or hear.
Right.
I literally walked into properties that, oh my goodness, and that was an early rookie air, right? Showing a property I did not previously preview, and they had like 10 cats running around, and we hit that front door, and oh dear goodness. And my client really just looked at me like, you've got to be kidding me. Why are you showing me this? And it's that early lesson, rookie mistake. I'm here to tell you, don't do that.
Well, like with my listing, I had somebody call on it, and then they say, you know what, can we go see the one that's around the corner? So it wasn't something I could preview.
But then they know that you didn't have
Right.
time.
And I walked in, and I swear to God, there must have been like 50 people in the house smoking with the windows closed. I was just like, you'd have to replace the drywall to get rid of that smell and all the ducting. And I mean,
Yeah.
it was bad.
Well, good reason why to
Yeah.
preview. So know your inventory, and then that way you feel confident. You're gonna know what you need to say to get out there, and say it with some enthusiasm. You guys, you're Berkshire Hathaway sales executive. People consider you to be up here. You need to raise the bar and be that higher level of agent, right? You want to get that 6 and 7% commissions. I was just talking to one of our agents from the Nevada area, and they're getting 7% listings every day of the week. 7, right? So you want to elevate your commission. That's a quick way for a pay raise, by the way, is increase your price point or your commission, right? So you do that, but you have to bring some element of value. You have to show that you're better, or you're going to net them more money than any other agent will. So those are things to keep in mind. Of course, interacting with people via charitable or other networking events. We're in the Coachella Valley. There's thousands of charitable events going on that will be going on fall through the year. Look at them, see what interests you. There's tons of them. Door knocking around our companies and your successes. So that's what we were talking about. So whenever a listing goes on the market, go to preview it. Then you can either door knock around that neighborhood, or if you say, no, we can't door knock there, you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, just wanted to introduce myself to you. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a listing right down the street. I just was in it myself. It's a blah, 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 whatever you want to say about it. It's a great property. It's this. Do you know of someone who wants to live in your neighborhood, right? Because what you're doing is they may want to sell, but what we want too is to sell a listing as well. So do you know of somebody who may be interested in moving into your neighborhood? Most sellers would love a friend or family member to move there. So they're going to say, oh, right? Or if no, but I'm thinking about selling my house, can we talk? So those are the responses that you're going to get. And you can get phone numbers, or you can door knock. Last case is, if you can't do either one of those, a handwritten note card to the neighbors. But that is passive, guys, and you want to be active. You want to get eyeball to eyeball, voice to voice. You want to start letting them get to know you. The sooner they know you, the faster that you'll have business, okay? But do something. And then, of course, we talked about cold calling. So there's scripts. If you need some scripts, see me. I can give you some. Rick Ruby actually is next week. He's doing another success series. He reviews a ton of scripts. And you can ask all the questions you want. If you think something that he's saying maybe isn't comfortable for you, maybe you can say, hey, how can I say that so it's a little different way? Because you know, every area is different. Every development's different. The people in it are different. So you need to approach people where they currently are and not what we're trying to put on them, if that makes sense. So the simple rules of thumb, all activities in step 1 must be proactive, not passive. Okay, eyeball to eyeball. Choose the proactive activities that you enjoy and match your personality. Achieving your unit closed goal. New agents should talk to at least one person daily for every unit you wish to close that year. So if your goal is to close 1 transaction a month, then that's 12 transactions. You need to speak to 12 people a day, right? If you want to close 8 transactions, you need to close 8, or you need to speak to 8 people a day, right? If you're a seasoned agent, and let's say last 12 months, you've already closed 5 transactions, and you want to close at least 8 transactions, then you need to talk to 3 people a day, because these are already moving, right? You're already getting referrals, they're already in your pipeline, so those are already incubated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just think about the number that you want and then go back. That's how many people you need to speak to every single day. And bless you. So just something to think about there. And then benchmark to shoot for. Your day should not end until you do 1 appointment with a new potential listing or a new potential buyer 5 days a week. Remember, visiting a new FSBO counts as an appointment, and follow up on previous leads, friends, referral inquiries, and clients are great ways to get a needed appointment. There's a way to do it if you're focused and ready to. I just share them. Okay, step 2, administrative and operational help. So to maximize your efforts for their highest and best use, you need, here's the bottom line. I hear so many times, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. I don't have time to go do this. I don't have time to go do that. Then you need to hire somebody. And if your answer is, well, I can't afford to, I'm thinking you're not looking at the numbers. All right. You are not looking at the numbers. You need to make 2 lists, the activities that are your personal highest and best use, and all other activities that you should delegate to others. So your highest and best use, that's what's going to equal a paycheck to you. A listing appointment, that's your highest and best use, right? Maybe buyer showings or meeting with buyers, meeting with clients, always highest and best use. Entering your file into SkySlope. It's not too challenging, but it may not be your highest and best use. We had TCs in this office. Sue's one of them. We have several of them. Reach out, talk to a TC and say, I think I need help. And believe me, it'll come right out of that commission check. It will benefit you, because instead of you now spending time, you might need help with social media, right? You might need help with the technology aspect and getting your marketing out there. Pay somebody, a couple hours a day to sit and do it. It's worth your time. It is actually worth it, because now your time is freed up to go talk to another person and get something else in escrow that you wouldn't have had time to do. Okay. Again, find a person to help you. If you need help, see me, because I know people come to me all the time. I have agents who said, Gina, I would love to help out being a buyer's agent. So if you have any sellers that are saying, listing agents that are saying, I need help, can you remember my name, right? I have listing agents saying, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do this and I need help. I keep track of this stuff. So I'm probably your first contact to put you together. If you're thinking of building a team, I'm telling you, Mark Stark is a genius when it comes to that stuff. So come talk to me and I can help you and point you in the right direction. Make sure you're interviewing them, that the interview is important. But if you haven't interviewed before, if you're not sure what to say or ask, you know what? Let me help you. Let me help you with that aspect of it. And together we can grow a really solid foundation. Simple rules of thumb. If you think you cannot afford it, you are wrong. Most have not first committed to step number 1. So make sure that step number 1 is in play before you try to do anything else. Quite often, the initial activities where you need assistance can be paid when a transaction closes, like a transaction coordinator. Many jobs are project-based and not a full-time job. You know, you can pay people to do specific things. Place a dollar amount per hour on your personal time, right? The minimum is $250 an hour when you're committed to step 1 daily activities. Any activities or tasks that you're not willing to pay 250 plus per hour should be completed by someone other than you. Okay, so that there's a few more suggestions on step 2, but in the essence of time, I'm going to go on to step 3 is asset building and enhancement. So let's go to, oops, that's previous asset building and enhancement. So the goal of step 3 is to create value and opportunity within your databases while establishing a database that cannot be easily duplicated by any person or technology. So you need to ensure all your people and relationships are entered into a usable CRM. Okay, you have one. Use it. Gather valuable, relevant, and meaningful information about your sphere, past clients, farms, etc. A basic contact should include the name, address, phone number, and best email address. Super simple. You don't need anything, you know, more than that. If you're saying I don't have all their information, basic name, address, and or not even that. If you can't, name, email, phone number are the most important. And then ongoing communication options. Every time you speak to someone in your database, your goal needs to be learn one more relevant fact about them. And it's nice because here's a short list. Where did you move from? What brought you to town? What do you do for a living? Your favorite restaurant? What do you do for fun, et cetera, et cetera. These are questions that you can have right at your phone. Always try to ask one more question about them so you learn a little bit about that person more and more. The stronger the relationship, the more likely they're going to refer you. So it's all about that relationship, right? Communicate and interact with your people. Voice to voice is always first, face to face, social media, electronically. And then a clean and relevant database provides benefits such as create stronger client relationships because you have a note on there. You can keep track of that conversation. So in 6 months, when you go back to their record, you can say, oh yeah, I remember they said they were going to do this, this, this. Now you get on the phone with them and say, hey, I remember you were going to do whatever. How was it? How did it go? And then before you hang up, ask another, just a relevant question for them. So that's step 3, asset building and enhancement. You're really creating a CRM that's a powerful CRM that's making money. And then when it's there, maybe now you can look at step 4, which is exit strategy, personal wealth, and growth. So the goal of step 4 is to ensure you have proper systems, processes, and policies, procedures in place to help maximize your business success. This section also will include a focus on your personal goals and life aspirations outside of business. So ask yourself these key questions. Do I have systems for everything? Systems for and what happens when? How I generate my business? Step by step when I take a listing? Step by step when I make a sale? Step by step when a listing sells?
91 US 4.
These are everything that you should have systems for in place. And you're not going to do it all at once. These are things that come, right? This is part of your exit strategy. So if your eye is toward, if I want to create a saleable CRM, these are the things that you have to make it valuable, right? So you have this money-making machine at your fingertips. You want to retire, the likelihood of another agent saying, yeah, I'll buy that from you, is really high versus them having to go in and build it all by themselves. Does that make sense? So that's what we're talking about. You should have these processes in place or things in the back of your mind. So as you're doing these, you create these systems. Okay, so getting to know yourself with the 3 key questions that only you can answer. Who am I? What do I want? And what price am I willing to pay? And you've got to know the answers to those questions. Okay. Yeah. Overall rules of thumb, voice, inflection, body language, eye contact matters. And so determine being as specific as possible, exactly what you want to accomplish in your real estate career. Establish your big why. Your why needs to be relevant and very meaningful to you to be effective. So that is step 4, your exit strategy. Does anybody have any questions on these? Yeah, oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to take you to one more here, and that is the agent plan worksheet. And I'll email this to you, and I want you to see, let me come down here. I want you to see, let me minimize this again. Okay, so this is an Excel spreadsheet. It's very simple to use. So for those of you who are a little nervous because you don't use Excel, I'm just going to show you how it's done. So you'll just type your name right there. Okay. Put yourself in the box and type your name. How much money do I need to meet my living expenses in the next 12 months? And I'm going to, somebody's not muted, so I'm just going to ask if you can check and make sure that you're muted. That would be great. Thank you. Okay. So let's say, for example, what I need to make in the next 12 months. And if you're not sure, see, when you move the cursor over that box, another pop-up box pops up. And it says, this is the total of all of your living expenses, mortgage, rent, payments, etc. So let's say expenses to meet is $50,000. Just, I know, right? I'm just throwing out numbers here because everyone will be different. How much money do I need to live my dreams in the next 12 months? Well, maybe another 25,000, right? That's it. I'm kidding. I get it. This is just an example. So I need to clear $75,000 to do what I want to do. And you're right, I should do this, right? Let's make it exciting.
You need to move the decimal point over.
There we go. Oh, no, not that. There we go. How about that?
I would outlive my dreams, not my expenses.
Okay, well, you can do that. Either way, I like the way you think.
I'm not buying a bigger house. I'm taking my time.
That's good. So now we're going to come here. Your average commission check. Again, think about what your average price point is. Wherever you're farming, what is your average price point? So if your average price point is, got a number?
130. Oh, average price point on the set.
On a sale.
500,000.
500,000. Okay, so 3% commission, 15,000, right? Oops, wrong one. I'm changing the wrong one. Okay, so coming down here, average commission check, $15,000. All right. Next. If you don't know this number, use 20%. This is the approximate percentage of tax paid on business profit. All right. Put money aside for taxes. You are an independent contractor. You should be paying quarterly taxes. All right. So if you're not sure, we're just going to use 20%, but check with your CPA and he or she will tell you what you need to put aside. The next line here is my business expenses as a percentage of sales. Again, if you do not know your expenses, use 10%. This is just an example. I was always taught that you want to invest where you want to be, and you'll get there much faster. If you're only investing what you can technically afford, it's going to take a lot longer because you're not making that investment. So the more you can invest in you have a business. If you had a department store and you open the doors, but you didn't want to spend a lot of money for inventory, you're going to have department stores with a rack of belts. It's not going to go very far, right?
Or you like Sears.
You need to fill that store. So this is a business. You want to make sure you're investing into your business. Put something aside. And then we have right down here, percentage of transactions that will sell and close. Well, if you bring the cursor over, this number represents the actual percentage of transactions that will close. The remaining failed transactions are fallout. So currently escrow closes 47% of all transactions placed into escrow. That's a very low number, but that's statistically nationwide, okay? So we're gonna use 47%. And then percentage of total income from listings, when you input this, the line will automatically, so I want at least 80% of my business to be from listings, okay? And 20% will come from buyers. But think about your business. Think about, some agents are like, no, I'm not representing buyers. I want 100% listings. Some say, I don't want anything to do with listings. I want buyers. God bless you. That's not an easy place to be in this market, but so having a good mix is always healthy, because as markets shift to buyers market, sellers market, neutral market, you want to have a business that you're making money, right? So total number of income, I'm going to say 80% of my income is going to come from listings. And of course, then it automatically calculates buyers. So when I put these numbers in, and of course, if you don't know them, they're giving you cheat sheet off to the side. Right here, I need to earn 168,750. That means in the next 12 months, I need 19 listings. 9 of them must close. I need to have 5 buyer escrows and have at least 2 of them close. And I need 11 closings over the next 12 months. And that will net me what I need. Does that sound too traumatic?
That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. When you look at the
Can we
numbers.
talk about the seat of my pants just doesn't work.
Well, it could, but wow, look at the potential that business can be. So this is when you really are focused on your numbers. Know your numbers. And you hear people say that over and over. This is what we're talking about. Know your numbers, know your price points, know what the inventory, know your market. This is all about your business. And what we want is not for you to do 1 or 2 deals a year and go, well, okay, I'm happy. If that's what you want, then that's your choice. But what we do is help you build profitable businesses. And that's what we're here to help you do. Any questions on the worksheet here?
Gina, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Where it says percentage of transactions that were sell and closed,
Uh-huh.
I didn't see what the pop-up was on the side of that.
Right here, it's just a statistic. And if you bring it, it represents the actual percentage of transactions that close. I mean, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
It's pretty low. I think for the most part, ours are much higher. But again, and if you're, look at your numbers. If, check out what you've done over the years, how many closed versus how many fell out. And use that number if you choose to.
So if you're just getting started, then you don't have.
Yeah, you don't have a
benchmark.
number, then I'd use the 47.
47.
Right, but if you've been closing transactions and you can do those calculations, then definitely you want to do that.
Okay.
Thank you, good question. Any other questions about the worksheet? Okay. What happened here? I lost my first slide. All the way down here. Okay, then what we will do is continue on unless anybody else has questions, feel free. Hope this is helpful to you. And then here's some ideas. Of course, you've got everybody in your CRM. You want to make it something that people, use it for your farming. I love it because it's really free farming, right? So here's some ideas for August, 1 a week, and you can see. So for the next 3 months, here's a farming idea once a week for the next 3 months. So you can call marketing, they'll brand them for you. You can pull them up already on the VAC. I mean, everything is done for you. So just do it. You can upload it right into your CRM and send it right out to everybody. You can post it on social media. You can mail it. You can create it as a postcard and do a postcard mailing. The possibilities are endless. You can see how I love this, right? Okay,
But
so
you can brand it yourself, right?
Oh,
Like upload
absolutely.
your photo. Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, these are all whatever you need. These are just put together for ideas. And this one's a lot of fun too. You might want to print some of these out because as we approach October, I know we're going to have more inventory and more open houses. And this is a Halloween coloring contest. If you're in an area where there's kids or where there's
Employees aren't eligible, so you can't.
behave, Mark. So if you're in an area that's more, has a lot of kids in it, that would be ideal. Hold an open house and sit those kids down. And, when kids are happy, mom and dad are happy. So that's always good. Okay, and of course, our marketing department, marketing@dhhscaproperties.com, or you can call this 1-800 number, and they will help you with pretty much everything. They literally, if you cannot or are having a challenge getting your postcards uploaded to Deluxe or whatever you're using, you can call our marketing department and say, please help me. I just send me the link to pay. Could you do everything else? And they will do the postcard. They'll upload it to a Deluxe brand. They'll upload your farm. They'll get everything ready and then just send you the link to pay. That's how much support you have right now to help you get your business moving. So that's an awesome thing. And then today at 1:30, the topic is maintenance versus crucial objectives. And so Mark will be doing his Facebook Live at 1:30 today. Lasts usually about 15 minutes. For the most part, if you can't see it at 1:30, it's of course recorded, so you can go back and listen. You can always go to Mark's Facebook page and look at all the previous ones because they are really good and they're all about business building, and that's just a huge piece. And then of course, visit the calendar on the VAC, and that will give you when all the other trainings are as well. On August 12th, the fundraiser for the Children's Discovery Museum of the Desert. And I know there's a few of us that are going. And so if you want to go, just let me know. We'll all go down together and have fun. It's at Kitchen 86 on El Paseo.
Yep. Fun place.
Huh?
Fun place.
Is it? I've not been there.
Yeah, it's a good restaurant. They, new owner, and he's just done a great job with that.
Ah, fabulous. That's always
Is that that
good.
one with that really nice outside patio and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good food. Yeah, it was very good.
Awesome. So any questions from the audience? Do I still have y'all here? Okay, no questions. Any questions from here? Was this helpful? Did you get a couple ideas?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Then I'm going to challenge you to complete your worksheet and send it to me. Having your numbers is very helpful to me so that I know how I can help you focus and how to move forward. And so by working together, your business will grow tremendously. I'm telling you, not just because of me, working even with an accountability buddy, but having your daily focus on your business is really everything. So send me your numbers and then I can reach out, we can chat about it, we can sit down, do a one-on-one, however best I can help you. If you're thinking that, well, I can't do this and this in my particular farm, not a problem. Believe me, in the desert out here, one of the first farms I started doing was a farm that was highly secure. You just couldn't go in. There was a dominant agent, and I got to tell you, everybody told me, oh, you'll never get in there. You'll never get in there. And if any of you know my personality, just tell me I can't do something, right? I make it absolutely watch me. So, and I don't mean that in a fun way. What I'm telling you is don't let somebody tell you you can't or cannot do something, right? Don't let that happen. Don't let them in your head. There are ways to get into these farms because I did, and it was really easy things to do. So I can talk ideas with you, and no matter where you're farming, but please look at your turnover rates. The apps from Landwood Title are super easy. I use Landwood on the go, and I know Title 5 or the Fluid, I think is what they're using now. But I have to tell you, turnover rate should be a minimum. I mean, we used to say 5%, but really in this market, look at 7 or 8% minimum turnover rate. And those are the farms where you should be focusing because that's what's making money. And if your farm that you're currently farming isn't at that level, don't panic. It's okay. You want that consistency. You want to be there. But I promise you, if you add maybe another farm off to the side with a really high turnover rate, at least it's going to be generating income. Well, your other farm may not be there. And it will get there because it's market, right? Business cycles. So don't get discouraged. Don't think, well, you can't do something in the desert because we're really strict. I can promise you, you can do things. You just have to get a little creative. And I'm here to help you with that if you need. So with that said, do we have any plugs or wants?
I do.
George,
Can you hear me from here? Yes.
just nod. Can you hear George?
I speak loudly, okay, so.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, well, for our colleagues online that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name's George Rivero. I've got about, well, less than a year working as a realtor. And I want to put out there that I am available to assist with open houses. I've helped other agents with showing properties. And I've really been trying to learn this over the last year in terms of what works out there. I have over 35 years of professional sales experience, 12 years as a private equity real estate investor, so I understand the real estate market. And in viewing open houses, this is for just general information, I've seen a lot of agents that just kind of sit there and say, look around and let me know if you have any questions. Everybody that comes to an open house that I'm on gets a property tour. I try to learn as much as possible about the property, and most people end up spending 15, 20, 25 minutes with me. So my goal at the end of all of this is to earn the right to collect data and information from them, and I grow my database that way. This weekend, I had an open house with Mike Ellich, who I've been working closely with, and I did a 25-minute FaceTime presentation with an investor in San Diego who had 3 properties in the cove where we were hosting the open house. And he ended up coming back with an offer, all cash, at $10,000 over listing price. So if you take the time, and I do, I will help you sell your property and I'll help your client. So Gina has my telephone number. I'm George Rivero, Rivero, and please reach out if I can help.
Wonderful. Thank you, George. Good job.
I got a little something.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, brand new listing in Panorama. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, but there's an extra room that is now used as a 4th bedroom. It's got a fabulous backyard. It's listed at $598. I'm gonna be holding an open house because business too, so sorry, George.
All right.
It will be open Friday and Saturday from noon to 3. So if you wanna come on by, I'd love to see you there.
Will cocktails be served?
I'm sorry.
Then I'm not going.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, any other plugs at once? All right, seeing none, thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing you very soon, and I'm here if you need me. Let's make it a phenomenal week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Gina. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you. Good to see you, Jenny.
Bye, Gina. Thank you.